Good evening, or good morning, depending on where you are. I saw that Dawn is with us from Western Canada, and it's quite likely that it's morning there, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. So good morning, everyone, and thank you very much for coming along this evening. Got the launch of the boxed lantern, which is just lovely. The fact that it's a box and we can take the lid off and bits and pieces like that is just beautiful. It came also with the launch of these lovely fir trees and the ribbon letters. Yeah, ribbon letters. So a lovely different sort of selection. Now, before I start though, I do want to say that the lantern is like what I've got. Once it's gone, I'm afraid. Phenomenally busy with that on the TV, and so that just went as quickly. So I've got whatever stock I could get, I've got for you, but once that one has gone, it has gone. So I'm not going to actually show you that one today. I'm going to show you these lovely little trees because I thought of a different type of card that might be quite nice to have a go with that. And as I said, we've got the lovely ribbon letters as well, which we'll probably use at another stage, but very, very pretty little font with as if you've threaded it with ribbons, and just makes a simple card just by using it like that. So, however, we are going to use the fir trees today. A sort of much more of a looking fir tree, if you ask me. Sometimes it can look a little bit blobby, but this one doesn't look blobby, and I think it's really lovely. There are 7 dies in this set, so a nice combination. You may notice this little one, which I believe is made with the windows of here, but also if you happen to have the window box die set from earlier this year, about 6 months ago, a similar sort of thing could be achieved with that as well, so that's quite nice too. But we are going to do something completely different. So I'm going to pop them to one side. They're over on the maximumcraft.com website if you want them, but do remember that this one is very, very limited. Okay. Does the die come with the windows? Pass. 9 dies. I assume it does. I didn't want to open it because they're so limited. You don't want one that's already open, but I'm pretty certain it does. Maybe someone that's paid attention could have a look and tell us for that. Yes, says June. Sorry, it has got them. Thank you to June and Terry. Yeah, so you have got those windows with it. Sorry, I didn't pay attention, did I? Okay, so thank you for just checking that everybody's still awake, you see. That's what it is. That's what it is. So I am going to use my little set here. And as I said, there are 7 trees in this set. Each of them slightly different. So you've got a nice selection of all the trees. And I am going to cut them out in 2 different ways. I'm going to cut them all out in white to start off with. So just an ordinary piece of white card. And I'm just going to tape them into position. So this is, as I say, oh goodness, can't grab hold of it. Ordinary white card. I'm going to do the whole selection. Whether I use them all or not, I don't know, but we will go with it to see whether I do or not. And at the same time, let's bring that one down here. I'm going to cut myself a little sentiment, a Merry Christmas sentiment, so that I'm using all the space that I've got here. I will turn that round so I get a better chance of cutting it out that way, as it's going to go through my machine that away. So let's just put that on here. Oops, and pass that through. So the card base that I'm using today is a 5x7 card base. So that's going to be our actual card base. Let's pop that to one side, see how well this has come out. Pretty splendiferous, I think you'll find. Now I'm going to take these dies off. They're cut out beautifully. Got a very, very pretty, proper looking tree. Merry Christmas. Cut that one out already. And as you can see, oh, that's quite nice as well. That's going to go in a separate bit. So I'll pop that to one side and also put my trees over here to one side, because we're going to cut some more trees out, but in a slightly different way. So when I finished my card last week, which was the deer scene, you may recall, with the majestic frame around it, I had inadvertently forgotten to bring my crystal ice down. And so I couldn't cut that at the same time. But I think most people agreed that when I had cut it, it just finished it off beautifully. And people were asking, how did I stick the snow? Now, I put some glue, I stuck some glue onto it, literally stuck some glue onto it, rubbed it in, and it was done. But another way of doing it is to do it with the double-sided sheets, and that's what I'm going to do. I have this piece left over from something else, and I have a piece of white card. So I'm going to peel the back of this off. I will have to persuade the back to come off as opposed to the front, but I want to leave the front bit, and by the front bit I mean the green grid part, so that you can see what I'm doing, because otherwise if I took that part off you would only be able to see white on white, and it's not so easy for you to see. So I'm simply going to stick that straight down onto my didn't get that straight. Straight down onto my piece of card and leave that piece on there. So it's stuck onto the white card. I'm then going to take my two largest trees, so that one and that one, and then I will take probably the next size down. So I'm going to stick those together, and whilst I'm going through, I want to cut, see if I can cut just one more of those. Probably won't do that very well now because I've got that little funny angle, but we'll give it a go because I really wanted two of those. So I'm going to pop that through as well. And what that will do is give me a sticky area on which I can stick my snow with, hopefully without any trouble. Now let's just see if it's, oh yeah. So you can see on the other side it's cut through, but because we've had to go through a couple of pieces, do just check when you go to push it out, because you've got sort of like a sheet of card, then you've got a sheet of graph paper, then you've got the sticky sheet in between. So it cuts through easily. It's an easy pattern to cut through, but just check, because I did manage to pull mine to pieces. That's why I'm saying don't do what I do as I say, or something like that. So I'm just going to take those three out. Whether I do all of them or not, I'm not 100% sure, but I'd rather have them all ready to go. And pop my trees over there. And it looks like this time the sentiment stayed in there. So I'm just going to pop that out as well. Now, obviously, I've used a Merry Christmas. You could use anything that you like to do. So just take that one out and pop that over with all the others, like so. Now, I haven't quite finished doing all my cutting, but I have finished with my fir trees. And the next die set I want to bring in is going to be this one, the small nested circles, or nested circles in general, but I'm going to use that one. I will use it in a little while, but I need to show you where it's going to go first. So I'll pop that to one side again, because we will need that in just a little while. So here we have our 5x7 card base. So I'm first of all going to fold that in half, and somebody has walked off, but oh, could possibly be me with the bone folder. So I'm just going to fold that nice and crisply. And then if this is the front of my card with the card fold on the left hand side, I'm going to fold this bit back to that centerpiece, so that's into a Z fold type card. Okay, So when you look at that, there's your Z, and that is your Z fold card. So I just wanted to do that like that for now. Okay. So I'm just going to make sure that that is nice and crisp. And I have already cut out a couple of pieces of card that's going to go onto here. This card is called Periwinkle, and I've cut out a piece to go in there, which was 5.8 centimetres by 17, and this one is 12 centimetres by 17 again. So that's my two measurements, and they're going to go in there. Now, I am going to emboss them and do a few bits with them, but what I want to do first of all is use a stamp. Now, it is an old stamp, so old that I really don't even know what it's called anymore, I'm afraid to say. Hold on a second, because it's disappeared. Oh, goodness me. What have I done with said stamp? In a safe place. Can you see it? Well, got the ink ready. Oh, for goodness sake. Am I looking at it and can't see it? Okay, so old that I don't even know where it's gone or what it's called. How silly is that? I'm looking at it and it must be here. But can I see it? No. How silly. Oh dear. It's fun, isn't it? You enjoy coming here and wasting your time watching me, don't you? Well, I do not know. It's all, aha. It's stuck. It's stuck to the bottom of the thing. So, right, okay. Skip that bit. So this is my card, and it's going to be folded back like that. And I want to make an aperture on this piece. So I want to stamp my old sort of, well, cabin in the snow, more or less in the centre. So I'm going to put my stamping platform this long way round so that I can get that in this corner and hanker it down a little bit, like so. And I just want it roughly in the centre, I think. Maybe come down a fraction. Something like that. Now I'm going to try it with the smoky grey, the VersaFine smoky grey, because I didn't really want it to be quite so in your face as black. But this might not be big enough. We'll see. So I'm just going to press that down. And as I said, it is an old one. And if you want to make something similar to this, a little cottage type thing, yeah, I think that's going to work quite nicely. A little cottage with sort of trees and mountains and snow and all that sort of thing is the thing that I was looking at, but I wanted it to be smallish rather than a big long one, because those are the ones that I tend to have at the moment. So let's take that out of there. And then we're going to take our small nested circles out of the packet and decide which one might be the one that I want. Now, I think it might be this one. I think that will be just about right. So if we were counting from the outside as number 1, this would be die number 7 of here, but that really depends on what your picture is that you've got in the middle. So I've chosen for a number 7, but that might be different if you've got a different design altogether. Now, I want that to be roughly like that, I think. So, just trying to think how to go about that the best, because I want to be able to see through it. I think that is my only answer, to do it sort of by judgment rather than skill. So we will go with it, eh? So I need to tape that into place. It's not vital that it's in exactly the right place, I suppose. But I want to be able to see my little scene through it. So I'm just going to run that through my machine. So this will now give me an aperture so that I can look through here into my little scene. She says, hopefully. Oh, look at that. If I had not measured it, it would have been all right as well, wouldn't it? No. Yeah, so that's what I want. Now, pop this back. Lovely colour, the periwinkle blue, but I don't want it to be just solid. So what I want to do is pop this into an embossing folder. And I've got one that's called Snowy Background or something. It's a very old one by Creative Expressions. And it's a big one. And I'm going to pop my apertured piece that way around. So that's the front. Oh gosh, so old that it's nearly falling apart. I'm going to pop that along with this strip that I cut out as well. So I want both of those to be snowy. I'm going to put that back in, and then I'm going to run that through my machine as well. Make sure that's in properly. And then that's going to give us a little bit of texture on here without being, it's lovely colour, but we need it to be a little bit more of a something rather than too flat. You can then see that you've got that lovely snowy effect that's going to go on the front and inside. So I'm going to pop a little bit of foam into the back of this one, but not onto that front panel. We'll stick that one straight down. And then I'm going to position my lovely fir trees both on the front and inside to give that sort of real wintry, Christmassy sort of look. Trying to do some Christmas cards and some birthday cards, obviously, at the moment, because not everybody celebrates Christmas, so we don't want to be constantly on about Christmas. But I think that you could get away with just doing this as a wintry scene, really, to be honest. So let me just take the tape off of here. And whilst I'm doing that, the set that the circle is from is the small nested circles, but any circle set would do. But yeah, so small nested circle. Hi, Anne. Nice to see you here. I make you smile. Oh, that's good. Well, I hope it's me that makes you smile, or not somebody else. Now, what we didn't check, of course, is whether you've got the evening of watching me squeeze the glue out incorrectly. Oh, gosh. Wonders will never cease. Now, that comes from putting the lid back on the pot, really, doesn't it? So we're just going to then hover that over our image, but at the same time, try and make sure that we've got an even space all the way around, so that that sits on there nicely. And then, as I said, this front panel here is just going to go straight down. I'm not going to put foam onto that bit. So another very, very simple card. I'm afraid to say you get simple with me. I can do looking elegant, but I still like doing simple. So let's take our little trees here first and foremost. Let's take a little card. And I'm going to ice my trees, not like sugar icing. So this piece here, this is the carrier sheet, this grid piece. I'm going to just carefully take that off. Do I dare do them all at the same time? Probably it's not a good idea, but hey, I'll just grab hold of that, pull that off. I will just do two at the moment, so I can just tell. Get off. Thank you. Oh, oblige. Do you know what? If I just put this on, so I'm going to get my ice out. Thank you. And just sprinkle. Once I've started to sprinkle, I'll be able to hold on to it without fear of it touching anywhere. A little bit on here as well. The fact that this is plastic, recycled plastic at that, means that you're not going to cut yourself with anything. Because I have done that before in the past when I've had glass shards or whatever we call it, German glass. So I'm just putting that down to all the bits that are sticky, and then shake off the bits. It's a chunky glitter as well, so it does give a lot of depth and dimension to it, but as you can see, hopefully really sparkly too. I don't know why it's really dark in this area, that area. Sorry about that. No idea why that's quite so dark there. Well, it looks dark from where I am anyway. Can you keep those gridded pieces and use them as masks if you were inking a scene? Yes and no. Yes and no, Anita. The reason why I would say no is because they're shiny on that side. And therefore, if you were trying to actually get them to place, there's no adhesion to it anymore. The adhesion was actually on the double-sided sheet that's on here now. So yeah, it is a mask, and a very good one at that. However, it would be difficult to get it to stay in place because it's shiny on the other side. So really, you're looking at proper masking sheets if that's what you wanted it for. I mean, you could sort of use some tape or some, not tape, some removable glue of some sort to position it, I suppose. But in all honesty, I think you would have a bit of a problem trying to get that to stick. Sorry. Yeah, a bit of sellotape would work, but I still think that it's quite thick card and might well bounce back, to be honest with you. Not card, paper. So let's just do this one as well. Seeing as we've got it, might not use it, but might as well use it. Make it anyway. And just, I think it's nice to have some of these trees with the snow on as such, or the ice, but they might not necessarily all have it, but I think it just gives it a little bit of a something different. So I'll pop those over there and put that back into my little pot. I've decanted it into a little pot so that I can see what I'm doing here, but it is beautiful stuff. So let me bring my card back in. So the plan is that I'm going to take one of my glittered piece, and I'm also going to take my two large non-glittered pieces, and I'm going to pop them down here. So I'm going to put those, the the two plain ones without the glitter, I'm going to put them straight down onto my card. No foam, just straight down flat. So a bit of glue down the centre. And I've got them probably, I don't know, 1.5 inches up from the bottom. I'm going to do the same with this one, but I'm going to bring that just so that it's over the edge that way, and it's only about 1 inch off of the bottom then. Then I'm going to turn this one over, so this is the glittered one, and I'm going to pop that onto a bit of foam. Just into the centre. Now don't forget that on the back of this, it went onto plain card, so it's easy to get it to stay stuck onto there. And we used the sticky sheet purely so that we can get the glue to get the ice to sit on there. So I'm popping that one down on the bottom. So that one's down onto the bottom. Now then I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to look at putting some of the trees around my little scene here. So let's bring in all of these, and we've got 2 glittery ones as well, don't forget. So again, some of them are going to be stuck straight down, some of them will be on a bit of foam, but we're making it as if we're looking through the forest. I think I won't put that one down there. So that we've got lots of trees going on there as if we're looking through there. So let's pop them. Now, as I said, some of them will be straight down and others won't. So we'll pop a little bit of foam on the back of this one. If you've got the scene, I've forgotten what it's called now. Can't think what it was called. Card scene die. These make a beautiful little scene for that. So if you do happen to have that in your stash, I've still got a couple of them left, but the stepper scene card, I'll get it right in a minute. I'm going to pop that one underneath, so it's just underneath the branches of that one. Then I'm going to put a bit of foam on this bit, just a little bit. Hopefully that I can't see. No, we're okay. Put in an extra bit of glue to help it to stick as well as the static. So we'll bring that down a little bit. Then we go in with a flat, snowy one. And I'm bringing that underneath here. And then we'll have that little one up there with a bit of foam. Getting the bits of foam are getting tinier and tinier. In fact, even that one, I've got to chop a bit, otherwise it will show. I don't really want it to show. Oh, we don't want any burnt dinner, Anita. See you later. Thanks for joining us. See you on Sunday, hopefully. On Sunday, we will be back with the card kit, which we missed out on last month because there was just so many things coming and going that we missed out on the card kit. So we've got the card kit on Sunday this time, which should be fun. Oh. So I'm just going to put both of them onto foam. That bit probably will be fine, but this bit can probably get away with putting that little tiny bit on there. Just sort of building them up and making it look as if we've stumbled across this lovely cabin in the middle of the woods. But as I said, you could easily use any other little cabin type. That's got to go that one. scene that you might have, just that fits in within that round, which I think looks pretty. I mean, I'm doing it sort of wintry scenes, but you can do this with the green trees as well, which equally lovely. So just putting that offset there, and then coming back to here, I'm going to put my 2 sentiments together, as we have a want to do now. Stick the 2 sentiments together for a bit of dimension. This is a Creative Expressions one. Just pop a little bit of glue into there, and we are done with a fairly simple, not probably a batch card, but as we said, for those that we want to take a bit of time up, but not one of your mantelpiece ones, just your one up from the bin man type of thing. I don't know who that is. So that's just giving it a second layer, so it gives it a bit more sturdy. And I'm just going to pop that up onto there. So another bit more glue onto this. And we are done. So a 5x7 card for you today with a Z fold, so that's the front part of it folded backwards, so that it sits up like that, with an aperture as well. Goodness me. Talk about give you all the different styles. Let's get it around the right way. Yeah. And then that can go. Now I have used Dry's Clear glue, so the fact that when it is wet you may well be able to see a few blobs of glue where you shouldn't, but rest assured, as soon as that dries off you won't be able to see the glue, which is just as well. So let me just pop this. Now you could go over the top, but I'm not going to, of putting more of your snowy, the ice and snow. It could go on that scene even in the centre there. But I think that less is more in that case. We've got it on our trees, and only on, I think again, if you had it on all of the trees, it might look a bit much myself. So I haven't gone for all of the trees. I've just gone for the three largest ones, and then I've cut out the whole 7 dies in just the plain white, but just giving it, gosh, does that sparkle? So you can see it all over my desk as well. But yeah, you can see how sparkly that is. And I think that's, yeah, pretty lovely. Okay, so 5x7 card. Used my stamp from my stash, and I cut it, stamped it in smoky grey. I've used Periwinkle blue card, and I've used the Snowfall embossing folder on it. And then I have used the lovely brand new die set. Oops, get that for you, which is the fir trees, which is that one there. So you can see. Oh, gone a bit skewiff on you. No idea why it's the dark patch. Might be that I've lost a light bulb or something. But also don't forget, we have got the lovely ribbon letters which came out this weekend, just gone, and the equally lovely Lantern Box 2022, which has a lid to it. So all this bit here, the lid comes off so that you can actually easily get into the back there. John Lockwood has got a load of different ideas and videos on how to make that up, so I'm not going to show you that because it is very simple to do. If you do catch his shows, you will see just how simple it is, but I thought we would go on a slightly different tact and show you how to use some of the ideas for our fir trees, which is here. So all remains to say now is thank you very much for joining me today. I will see you, as I said, I'll have to hold that down so that you can see it, because it doesn't want to sit up. Well, that's a bit better, isn't it? A little bit better. I will see you on Sunday morning, hopefully, if you can join me at 11 o'clock. I know that I might not therefore be seeing the lovely Dawn, because if she's up now, that means that we're probably early morning for her. So I think she's something like 8 or 9 hours even behind us. So I'm pleased that you were there, Dawn. Yeah, I'll be back on Sunday, which, can you believe it, will be the 2nd, October the 2nd, with the October card kit. You didn't miss the September one because I did. There wasn't a September one, but we will be back on Sunday with a lovely card kit, which includes a die. If you want any of the items that I've shown you, what we've got left, pop over to the website and yeah, you will be able to see what you will see and you will be able to get them. So thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again at the weekend if possible. Take care till then. Thank you very much. Bye.